Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Velvet Rope Live. We're bringing you the best of what New York City has to offer, from the New York Film Festival to the Empire State Building. We're bringing you the biggest stars. Here's a sneak peek. On this episode of Behind the Velvet Rope Live, we head to the New York Film Festival to chat with the cast of Certain Women. It's time to rejoice because Sarah Jessica Parker returns to HBO with Divorce. Salma Hayek and Sally Field share their thoughts on women in media. We're atop the Empire State Building with Elizabeth Hurley and Hamilton's Javier Munoz. Lin-Manuel Miranda tells us what he's been up to since leaving Hamilton, and we go back to school with Lauren Graham. All that and more on Behind the Velvet Rope Live. All right, guys, so you know that the last 3 weeks we've been bringing you incredible coverage on the Toronto International Film Festival. Well, that's over, and it's time to hit the New York Film Festival as Oscar season continues. One of the movies that is the buzz around town is Kelly Reichardt's Certain Women. She's an incredible director, and now she's bringing us an intimate portrait of 3 women with interlocking stories in rural Montana. She also got 3 of the best actresses in Hollywood to join her: Kristen Stewart, Michelle Williams, and Laura Dern. I chatted with them about how they picked their roles, and here's what they told me.
It can be a person in a room, like a director or a writer, that's never done anything, and 5 minutes of a conversation can just solidify like the absolute need to do something. Or it can be a character that I read that I know so well that it's just going to be like, oh, I can nail that, it's going to be easy. Or if it's something that I'm like, ooh, why did that trip me out, and I'm confused and I have a million questions, let's do it. So yeah, it's like it's totally different every time.
It's not like I have like a wealth of opportunities and I'm deciding between like a diamond or a ruby. It's still tricky to figure out where your next job is going to come from. But I think that maybe the thing that I've always tried to do is just so simple, but it's just to follow my heart.
In this case, it was playing someone I'd never played before and really having to explore being a detached person in a lot of ways, which is not mostly the characters I've played. But Todd Haynes, one of our producers, who's one of my dear beloved friends and I have worked with, collaborates and works closely with Kelly, and so he brought the introduction to me of this, and I loved her work. So it was like win-win-win.
So guys, if you're in New York, go see Certain Women at the New York Film Festival. And if you're not, guess what? It opens October 14th, so go to the theaters and see it. Really incredible film, and it's an Oscar contender, so check it out. Everybody has been waiting for Sarah Jessica Parker to return to television. As Carrie Bradshaw, she became arguably the most beloved female character in television history. Well, guess what? She's back at her home on HBO with a great new show called Divorce. It is a very dark and extremely funny look at the uncoupling of a marriage. I say that with such energy, but it's really horrible when you see it in terms of what people go through when they're saying goodbye to each other and how it can impact the family. I caught up with Sarah Jessica Parker, Thomas Hayden Church, and her husband Matthew Broderick, who told me all about her returning to TV. What made you want to get involved with this? Not only EP it, but star in it.
It started about 4 years ago. I just had an idea that I wanted to tell the story of a marriage, of a relationship, that I'm always drawn to human interaction, and I'm curious about other people and about different stages of relationships, and in particular, the story of this marriage felt very interesting to me.
She just thought it was a really good meaty role, and she's such a good actor. I think it's nice to see her back again, and doing what she does so well.
What are they going to get?
They're going to get a tapestry of horror and comedy. Hopefully just a unique but recognizable sort of sequence of people desperately trying to hang on to their dignity and going through, a divorce. I mean, I really think that's what it is. It's like, in the fateful words of Jim Morrison, nobody gets out alive, really, because his family is being put through so much turmoil, and I think that's what the audience is going to see.
So I got to see the first 6 episodes of Divorce. I absolutely loved it, and it premieres this Sunday on HBO at 10 p.m. Make sure to check it out. I also love one of the other facts about the show, which is SJP is not only the star of it, but also the executive producer, and we need more of that. There is not enough female voices right now making a difference in Hollywood. And one of the organizations out there that is trying to correct this problem is the Women's Media Center, which was founded by Gloria Steinem. Every year they hold an awards program, and this year they honored the incomparable Salma Hayek, and it was hosted by the one and only Sally Field. I caught up with both of them on the red carpet, and they told me what needs to be done in order to increase female voices in Hollywood. Check it out.
I think that the cracks in the glass ceiling that are being made right now as we speak are bringing in the light, and with it a whole flurry of the furies, evil that are really being illuminated. Things that have always been, but are now being seen and talked about. I think it's an important time, but a frightening time.
What really moves people to do something, it's money. And I think that the industry just realized the economical power of women. Women make more than 75% of the decisions of where the money goes in a family, how they spend it, and they also choose what they're watching. That's why television is doing so well. But they have abandoned these women when it comes to filmmaking. But because our power of consumption, all the different medias, although they are run by men, they realize that there is a void for them to make great business out of. So I am very optimistic because now they are like scrambling. We need women directors, and there's not that many because they have not been supported as part of the industry. But you will see now it's all changing.
I got to tell you, this is the third year in a row that I've covered the Women's Media Center Awards. I absolutely love the work they're doing. Couldn't have honored a better person than that lady, Salma Hayek. She's doing so much. She just directed her first film, by the way. It's pretty cool. We're going through such a crazy election right now. Everybody's voice needs to be heard, regardless of gender. We need to all be speaking up, and what the WMC is doing is a perfect example of that. Enough of the serious stuff for a little bit. Let's get to the fun stuff. Everybody has an addiction. My addiction is makeup. I know it sounds weird, but I'm constantly putting on my makeup on the red carpet and getting made fun of or having stars intervene. Something's always happening. So my team, in the relentless pursuit of making fun of me, decided to put together a wonderful little montage of Arthur Kade on the red carpet with his makeup. Have fun. By the way, is that your blush? That's okay. It is. I can't believe you spotted that. Are you too close? Are you? Gotta do it. Everybody always wants my powder.
When Arthur puts his powder, it's for everybody in the red carpet.
Why does it go? It goes everywhere, doesn't it?
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Arnold just stole.
Make up before you save the world.
Thank you very much.
You have to look good when you're saving the world.
Absolutely.
I've got to start asking my team to delete this footage when it's happening. What the heck? All right, guys, so joining me in studio today is my good friend, Alfonso Diaz. He is the host of NTN's 24, as well as Tenemos que Hablar on the network. I want to know, any guest starred in that wonderful little Martin Scorsese production that you just got to see. Why are people always making fun of me? Since middle school, they're always making fun of me. Why, Alfonso? Including you.
I have never done such a thing, Arthur.
Yeah, so right. We have video. You guys got to see this. We have video of Alfonso making fun of me just last night on a carpet of how I put my makeup on. We couldn't capture the audio correctly, but watch him.
Well, my point here is that you do gentle. You're supposed to put the makeup in a gentle way, but you look at you. It's like you grab it for your life, and you just stick it to your face. It's very interesting. See. Anyways, now Arthur, the thing is that people, and we talk about this a lot. People have no idea that when there's a red carpet, we have to be standing there for a long period of time. Like we do the interviews, and it takes what? 5 minutes, tops, 3 minutes, but we are standing there for hours. And sometimes, you know, you start making fun of things that present themselves as easier.
Yeah, but I've always been an like ever since middle school, people make fun of me. You and I do it in a playful manner because we're
Yes.
friends. But why? What is it about me that people want to make fun of all the time? Do I look funny? What is it?
Well, first of all, because you don't look threatening. So if I do it, I know that you're not going to punch me in the face. So that will be one. And it's just good fun. But the other thing is that you sometimes like get very intense in the red carpet. And I think that if we laugh a little bit and make fun of you, and if I make fun of you and you do it with me too, then we will more relax and we have a better time there.
We're going to have to put together a video for you guys of me making of the intensity on the red carpet. I drive people to Prozac on the carpet. I'm like, are we going to get the person? Are we going to get the person? Are we going to get the person? I'm bouncing up and down. It's a lot. I know.
It's a very intense dance. Sometimes you'll start like going like this, and then you start like, you cannot stand in the same place. So you move around and you like want to do an interview behind, and you're like moving, and you're like, please move with my finger to like create a little space. And because we are in camera during these interviews, we need more space than other people. So other people are just with the camera behind them, and it's easier, but we need a little more space, and we have come to an agreement, and we're not in each other's takes most of the time.
And just to finish up this topic, I've got to give Alfonso an enormous amount of credit. He always protects my shot. A big thank you to this gentleman, because anytime I want a clean shot, he is protecting it. So it's really, really cool. All right, so I want to ask you, this Kim Kardashian shit is crazy this week. It's like crazy, right? Like, first of all, who has $10 million of jewels in their room? I want to know, like, what your thoughts are. Like, what the hell happened?
Well, she could.
You think?
Because I personally think that she's not the brightest bulb in the Christmas tree. But there's always so much stuff around whatever she does that is fabricated. Arthur, really? Do you really believe everything that they say, everything that she says? Everything is like an attempt to impress, to make people talk about her. So probably it was not millions. Probably it was not even like a scare. Probably somebody took something when she was in the shower. She didn't even notice. But they create like this drama around them, and everything that the Kardashians do is dramatic. Like seriously, millions and millions wake up every morning to see Twitter, to see what color her nails are this morning. You know what? It's just the nails of somebody, and they're masters at selling themselves and creating this aura of interest when, you know what, yeah, you got stolen, sorry, next.
The best part of that is that Alfonso took their plot, which sounded like the plot out of Taken, the movie, and he transformed it into like a children's story. Like she's exfoliating in the bathroom, and someone just came in and swiped a $4.5 million
took
ring.
Something, like, yes, probably one ring, and they left, and she's like, oh my God, I was so afraid for my life, and her friends, or people that are close to her saying like she's not the same after that traumatic experience. No, she's gonna be like doing whatever she has to do next to sell and promote herself, and that's it. It's not a big deal. I don't think so.
Do you think it could be a complete publicity stunt? Do you think
Of
this
course.
could? Like I was thinking that. I'm like, could this actually be legitimately fake altogether?
Well, no, because there was police involved. So I think that something did happen, but I don't think that it's as big as it is, and I don't really think that this woman, after what she goes through on a daily basis, is upset about this.
I actually was saying to somebody.
No, that I refer to her as this woman.
This woman. the victim. The victim.
This woman.
The victim. She's the victim.
I don't like her.
I know, I can tell. I actually was thinking about how many millions she's going to make from this. As horrible an experience, at the end of the day, if it happened the way it happened, this is a mother, it's a wife, it's a woman, it's horrible.
Watch it now. She's going to be selling like the most
alarms,
the most secure piece of luggage, so you don't get stolen. Or like you attach the piece of luggage to your bed or something at the hotel. It's a handcuff thing or some mechanism, and everybody's going to like. There's going to be an application for you, a video game where people are like, oh my God, I'm going to go to a hotel, and what do I do in order not to get stolen from? Like something like
Kim's
crazy
gonna
like
create
that's
another
gonna
app.
There's going to be another app.
Panic Room at the Hotel by Kim Kardashian.
Or tips for you to recover after a traumatic experience by Kim Kardashian, psychologist.
Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of traumatic experience, I wanted to talk to you about the election right now in politics because you're gay, you're Latino, you're an immigrant. All three of these...
Three reasons why Donald Trump will hate me. Yeah.
What do you think about what's going on right now?
What I think is that I am from Colombia, but I became a citizen of the United States in a very interesting time and got to see an African-American president, which is wonderful and speaks highly of this country. But then we see somebody like Donald Trump running for presidency, and I understand with that sometimes the politics in this country are a joke. This person says something, the next day he says he didn't say that, and there's proof that he did. He talks about people with hate. He wants people to hate each other. With Latinos, he's not nice. He has called us rapists. He has called us names. Women, Latino women, he has called all sorts of horrible things. Alicia Machado, ex-Miss Universe. It's very sad. I think it's very sad. That part I think is sad in the politics of the United States in this moment. Like that you have that person running for the presidency of the most powerful country in the world. Hello, really?
You know, your show broadcasts to Colombia and to an enormous Latino population.
Yeah.
You know, we hear him all the time saying, "Oh, Latinos love me. They work for me. All this stuff." But what do they love? My housekeepers love me.
Yeah, exactly like that.
What do they think though? Like, what do Latinos think?
Donald Trump says things like that. It's like you stand here and say, "Okay, Madonna is my best friend." Because I said it on television, then it makes it real for some people that really believe what he has to say. But actually what he's saying is not true. He's saying that Latinos love him. When you talk to Latinos in the street, when you talk to people that really have the ability to make a decision and vote, they don't like him. They do not like a person that is saying negative things about them. Like, there might be a few, of course. You cannot generalize in these things because, of course, there are people that have interests, but it's not that doesn't represent the majority of population. Latinos do not like Trump. They don't.
You're the best. I'm going to give you a hug. Oh, I'm gonna miss
nice to see you.
I'm gonna miss Alfonso, guys, because he's leaving for vacation in Colombia, his annual vacation. Can you take me with? We have 16 red carpets over the next 4 days.
Sun, parties.
I'm not coming back from. I heard it's a blast. Thank you to our buddy Alfonso Diaz. Go watch Tenemos que Hablar. Latino or not Latino, watch it. He's the best. Thanks for joining so much. All right, guys. Next up. One of my favorite places in the city to shoot interviews is the Empire State Building. I love being up top there. And since it's October, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and one of the famous faces for the BCA awareness campaign is Elizabeth Hurley. I caught up with her atop the Empire State Building to chat about the work that she's doing with Estee Lauder to combat breast cancer. Check it out.
When I was asked by Evelyn Lauder to help her with this campaign more than 20 years ago, she said to me, "Elizabeth, women all over the world are dying of breast cancer and no one is talking about it. I want to change that." And it's because of that that she co-invented the pink ribbon, which is now obviously a ubiquitous sign across the world that people care about breast cancer. But at that time, no one talked about breast cancer. There was no TV specials about breast cancer. No buildings had been lit pink. The pink ribbon didn't exist. People were scared. They were really scared. Nobody knew anything about breast cancer. And she'd been so impressed by the AIDS activists who had the red ribbon and who spoke about AIDS and educated people about AIDS that she said, we have to take inspiration from these fabulous campaigners and do it for women because, as we know, 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. And so the change in the perception and the understanding of breast cancer has been phenomenal across the world.
This is a cause that is really close to my heart, guys. I got to tell you, my grandmother actually had breast cancer before she passed away, so I know the impact that it has. Support Elizabeth Hurley, Estee Lauder, and everybody who's working on the BCA awareness campaign. It's hashtag BCA awareness on Twitter. Just support it. We got to combat and destroy breast cancer. We're staying at the Empire State Building because Javier Munoz, Alfonso was like, you better say it right, Munoz, is the new Hamilton. He replaced my buddy Lin-Manuel Miranda, and we caught up atop the Empire State Building. He's working with Stomp Out Bullying, but he also told me about what it was like to replace Lin, as well as the impact that Hamilton has for minorities. Check it out.
I've always said the power of the show is just doing the show itself. From the moment it starts, the diversity on that stage speaks to everyone. And suddenly the show doesn't belong to a specific person or type of person. It belongs to everybody. And I think representation is absolutely vital. And so it's the show itself just speaks to all those things. And all we have to do is just show up and do the show.
As an actor, when you walk, Lin is a genius of geniuses.
Yes, he is.
When you follow in his footsteps, is there pressure, excitement? What was it like for you?
You know, we're friends for so long that there's no pressure, right? We're in the room together, creating this thing together, and that's all you need is rehearsal, right? And just sort of and to be part of the process, and then it's just do the job, you know.
Hamilton is still going strong, and I'd say go see it, but good luck getting tickets before 2017. It's still crushing it at the box office. Speaking of Hamilton and Lin-Manuel Miranda, he has a new documentary out at the New York Film Festival called Hamilton's America. We obviously see the success of Hamilton now, but this documentary details it from the very beginning to how it became the phenomenon that it became. I caught up with Lin at the festival, and he told me about what to expect, but also he's hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend, and he told me about his feelings for it. Check it out.
They're going to see sort of the making of. They're going to see me writing this thing before I even knew what it was. They're going to see how the show has resonated with everyone from world leaders to hip-hop artists to musical theater writers, and also where Hamilton meets the world, the real history that is behind Hamilton's extraordinary American journey. It sort of serves all three of these things and is very compelling.
I was just talking to your publicist, Charlie, about you're on the cover of Variety. Now, like, the world after Hamilton is, you're still conquering it. What happens next for Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Well, next week I go to Saturday Night Live land, and
Awesome.
I'm freaking out because I used to tape that show every week because I wasn't allowed to stay up late to watch it, so I would watch it Sunday mornings. And so I'm really excited to be a part of it.
You guys got to check out this documentary because to see the beginnings, the seeds of where this came from to what it's become now is one of the most extraordinary things you'll ever see. It's going to be on PBS October 21st. Make sure to watch it. It is super, super cool. We're staying at the New York Film Festival and also in the documentary category because Ava DuVernay's 13th, which is going to air on Netflix, is officially the first ever documentary to open the New York Film Festival. What an incredible accomplishment. She's such a brilliant director, and she takes a detailed look at one of the biggest problems in America, mass incarceration and minorities that are being mass incarcerated. And she really makes a very interesting look into it and how it relates to slavery. Check this out. She tells me about why she wanted to make the film, and we also talked to Common, who has an original song in the documentary.
You know, this is something that's been on my mind and my heart for many, many, many decades. Most of my life, I grew up in Compton, a black and brown community, and there was a heavy police presence, a heavy awareness that the criminal justice system was at play, at work. Most kids don't have to think about that, but many kids that live in certain communities do. It's just a part of the fabric of life, and so it's always been on my mind. That, coupled with my education at UCLA as an African American Studies major, gave historical context to my experience, and so it just always gelled with me as something that was a passion of mine. So when Netflix gave me the opportunity to make a doc about anything I wanted, this is what I chose.
I knew that we were targeted as black men by, you know, the prison system, but I didn't know the ins and outs of it and how much of it it's a business. I didn't really tie it into what slavery was and what Jim Crow was, and then you become the second-class citizen once you are in prison because you are targeted anyway. I think Americans are ready because I think we all, no matter what color you are, we don't want to see people dying in the streets for no reason. We don't want to see people losing their lives, having to go to prison for, for long terms, for bags of marijuana, or, you serve your time. When you serve your time, you should be able to come out and be a full citizen because you paid your dues and your time. So I think this movie is. You couldn't ask for a more timely movie. That's why we're talking about it in the debates and everywhere.
He is right. It is a very powerful and extremely relevant look at a major problem in America, and it's going to debut on Netflix on October 7th, so check it out. And it's also an Oscar contender. Congrats, Ava. Incredible, incredible film that you made here. We're going from a serious topic with mass incarceration to a not-so-serious topic, middle school. James Patterson is one of the great authors in American history, and he wrote a book called Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life, which has now been adapted into a movie. It centers on a student who rebels against his principal because he's stifling his creativity, and it stars Lauren Graham of Gilmore Girls fame and Parenthood as well, Rob Riggle, and I chatted with both of them as well as James Patterson at the premiere. Check out what they told me.
I really love this movie, and I love the message of it. It just was so positive and kind, and the kids are fantastic. So yeah, we laughed. And I mean, doing scenes with Rob Riggle is just like really fun.
What were you like in middle school?
People keep asking me, and you should know I was a top model. No, I was disgusting. I mean, I was like very, very awkward, and I was taller than everybody else in like 7th grade, taller than all the boys, and I had bad hair and glasses and braces and a cast.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. You should feel bad for me. It was bad.
This one was a lot of fun, mainly because I got to work with a lot of guys that I came up doing comedy with. Andy Daly, Adam Pally. We've all been doing improv together for over a decade, I think, at the Upright Citizens Brigade. So I knew a lot of people on the cast already, and we've played together and done shows together, and so that was great. And then I got to meet new friends, like Lauren Graham. You know,
she's awesome.
She's amazing, and I've always thought so highly of her. And then I got to work with her, that's kind of cool. That's one of the cool things about this business.
You know, they test everything like crazy, and 97% of the people that went to this movie gave it an A or an A+. So I don't have to say anything. Kids already love it.
All right, guys, so we have 2 web exclusives. So first of all, go to our Facebook page, Behind the Velvet Rope. The first web exclusive is with Lauren Graham. Netflix is doing the Gilmore Girls revival. Everybody's going nuts. It's been trending on Twitter all week. And at the premiere, I chatted with her about making the revival and what to expect, so you got to check out what she told me. Also, James Patterson has had so many of his books turned into enormous movies, from the Alex Cross series to Along Came a Spider, but he tells me why this was his favorite. So go to our Facebook page, check out both pieces, are really great. All right, guys, well, someone whose creativity was not stunted was one of the greats of all time, and that's Robin Williams, gone way too soon. At least now, though, SAG-AFTRA is opening the Robin Williams Center in New York, which they did last night, and I was on the red carpet, where I chatted with 2 of his good friends and cohorts, Billy Crystal and Whoopi Goldberg, and they told me about their friendship with him, as well as his legacy. Here's what they had to say.
We were the closest of friends, and we just really were tremendously close, and loved the fact that we both had a chance to thrive in this difficult business, and we loved making each other laugh and making other people laugh. And we also did a lot of good with making people laugh, with like almost $50,000 or $70,000 somewhere in there for comic relief alone, $1 million. I mean, with Whoopi, of course, and all the fellow comedians. So that's what it's a difficult thing, because we was so close, and I miss him terribly. But I think his spirit will live on for all the people who will come into this building, and I think that's a fantastic thing. But these nights are tinged with the fact of he's not here. So, but I think for the people who will come in here, and there's 40,000 Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA members in New York alone, that when times get hard, that there's this building has the right name on it, because he was all about helping others.
Well, he gave everybody lots of humor. Lots and lots and lots and lots of humor and lots of fun and good times. And if we're lucky, we will make new ones in this building. There'll be newer Robin Williams, and they'll take that energy and turn it into something else that's wonderful.
I want to take a moment here and talk about Robin Williams, because this is a man who is probably our greatest physical comedian of all time. There was no one like him. The man ate the screen up. Like, it's mind-boggling to think about the incredible talent that this one individual possessed. He's influenced multiple generations. I mean, I think back to my own life, from childhood to adulthood, movies like Dead Poets Society, Good Morning Vietnam, Good Will Hunting, which I think I've seen 6,043 times, Birdcage, I mean, you name it, this guy has done it. Hook, I mean, he's made so many memories for so many generations and made us smile the whole time. Thank you, Robin, for all the wonderful memories that you brought not only me, but the hundreds of millions and possibly billions of people around the world. Thank you, Robin, and I'm so happy they honored you with the Robin Williams Center in New York. It is well-deserved for an incredible legacy. All right, guys, another person who has an incredible legacy is Pablo Neruda. He is arguably the greatest Latino poet and activist of all time, and now they made a movie about him, which is at the New York Film Festival. They got a really great actor, Gael Garcia Bernal, who just won the Golden Globe for Mozart in the Jungle, to participate in the movie. I caught up with him, and he told me exactly who is Pablo Neruda.
For those who don't know who Pablo is, who is he? He's one of the most important poets in the world, not only in the 20th century, but I think in human history. You know, he wrote when we're doing this, when the film takes place in 1947, he wrote the Canto General, which is an amazing, poetic portrayal of what's happening in America in those days. I recommend it to anyone who's interested in reading something other than history. But it's actually very, historically accurate as well. But it gives the poetry gives you the chance to explain the nightmares that people were going through in those days, or the dreams that people were going through in those days. I mean, Neruda he won the Nobel Prize. He's one of the biggest poets, ever.
A lot of Oscar buzz coming Gael's way, and he also has another movie coming out called Desierto, and also getting Oscar buzz for that. Gael's one of the best in the business. We are staying on topic with poets because one of America's greatest poets is Emily Dickinson. She's also one of the most reclusive and most misunderstood artists in American history. Well, now Cynthia Nixon of Sex and the City fame is tackling her life along with the critically acclaimed director Terrence Davies in a movie called A Quiet Passion, also at the New York Film Festival. And I chatted with Cynthia, who's had a really great run of movies recently, and obviously we know her from Sex and the City. Which she enjoys doing more, TV or movies, she told me.
They both have great things about them. I mean, one of the nice things about TV is it moves very fast, so there's not a lot of time to think. But it's nice to know what the arc of a film is, and that there's one complete story you're telling, not like you tell a story one week and then another story next week, and it's nice to have the arc of a film.
Well, guys, that's it for another episode of Behind the Velvet Rope Live. I told you there were going to be a ton of stars today, and there were. Make sure to check out our website, BehindTheVelvetRope.TV. Go buy our app and go get our app on your phone. Check us out on Apple TV, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Can't wait to see you next week, guys. See you then.